When the Father, through His perfection, created everything in the universe, He did so in such a way that His presence permeated every aspect. Part of this creation, as stated in prior videos, is the zodiac. In this belt, which was 9 degrees longer on either side of the ecliptic, the moon, Mercury, Venus, Jupiter, and Saturn revolved around the Earth. The Master's attention never departed from these celestial bodies, nor the rest of His creation. All the planets of the zodiac move in such a way as to indicate the seasons. If they did not, His perfect creation would become unbalanced. Similarly, or in a similar manner, if the equator of the Earth was altered further north or further south, the Earth would also become unbalanced. Remember, student, at the time Dante wrote Paradiso, they did not know that the Earth was tilted on the axis. However, the equator is in the middle of the Earth. If the axis was increased or decreased, it would alter the distribution of the sun's rays. The great Florentine poet referred to the sun as the greatest of ministers. Together with the other heavenly bodies, Dante said, the greatest of the ministers of nature, who with the power of heaven the world imprints and measures, with his light the time for us, with that part which above is called to mind conjoined, along the spirals was revolving, where each time earlier he presents himself. Canto 10, 28 through 30. Before he realized that he and the lucent Beatrice Portinari were departing from Venus and appeared in the solar atmosphere. He knew it would be hard for people to believe, but Dante encouraged people to just take what he said with a grain of salt. He then stood there and observed light more powerful than the sun. The light was actually the souls of the sun, who display holy wisdom and love. Beatrice encouraged the great Florentine poet to praise the Father with thanksgiving for permitting him to be in the sun. As Dante focused on worshiping the Father, his attention toward Beatrice became eclipsed. This transfixed attention by Dante made the Florentine maiden smile at the great Florentine poet. Her smile, however, distracted him and brought his attention back to her. Around that time, many souls approached them while singing and encompassed them in a manner which was reminiscent of the moon's halo. The content of the songs they were singing can only be conjectured, as Dante did not write them down. After the encircling 12 souls had rotated around Beatrice and Dante thrice, they paused in their movements. One of the souls spoke to Dante and mentioned how he sensed the intensity of Christian love in the great Florentine poet. It was this love that drove Dante into his consistent ascent through the heavens. Furthermore, the soul declared that he and his fellow solar souls would not, nor could not, withhold their knowledge from the living man. This knowledge was the way to salvation and of the Father's truth as revealed in Holy Scripture. The soul speaking to Dante was that of Thomas Aquinas. The great Italian Dominican scholar identified the soul to his right as that of Bishop Albertus Magnus. The great Italian Dominican scholar then began to identify all of his companions, while introducing the members of the 12 and counter-clockwise direction, Thomas Aquinas indicated that to the right of Bishop Albertus Magnus was the second trio, which consisted of the souls of the Etrurian Juris Gratin, the Parisian bishop and scholar Peter Lombard, and King Solomon of Israel, which is debatable per the conduct of his late life. The third trio consisted of the souls of the Athenian judge and martyr Dionysius the Areopagite, the Roman priest Paul Aruninus, and the Roman administrative official Boethius. The fourth trio consisted of the souls of the Hispano-Roman Archbishop Isidore of Seville, the English monk and scholar Bede of Jarwell, and the Scottish philosopher and theologian Richard of St. Victor. The soul to the left of Thomas Aquinas was that of the Burgundian philosopher Sigurd of Brabant, which is debatable as he was a Averroist. Dante reflected on how the 12 men's harmonious song was reminiscent of the hymns of the Mass. Additionally, he noticed how they turned around him and his lovely God, similar to the way that dancing ladies would during the wedding. This could be an implication of the marriage of the Lamb.